It seems everything costs more.
Every client I work with starts off with, why is everything so expensive?
I started falling behind because food started being inflated.
Bills pile up.
I definitely am feeling the struggle.
It is shocking on the surface that credit card debt's at a record high.
For many, it's hard to make ends meet.
This is the perfect storm of financial insecurity for a lot of people.
Welcome to NBC10 Responds, Managing Your Money. I'm Tracy Davidson. Inflation, credit card debt, interest rates, student loan debt. That can be a lot to deal with. That's why NBC10 Responds is here. We've got tips, suggestions, and strategies for managing your money. We're going to introduce you to people trying to make ends meet and the experts helping them through tough financial times. We start with a routine trip to the grocery store.
Gissiana Knight feels the pinch of inflation.
This is just a typical day, going to the market, getting some stuff.
Like the rest of us, she sees the impact at the grocery store.
I try to stay below $300 a month with food, but it always goes over.
Not surprising, prices are up almost 17% over the last 2 years.
This is really expensive right here. They're $1.49 each pepper.
But she has her strategies. Gissiana tries to stay away from the inside aisles.
Just go on the outside, and anything that is on the outside can help you create the things that are on the inside.
Including salad dressing that she always makes herself with oil and vinegar.
These are on sale 2 for $8, so I would get 2 of these.
At the checkout, she has another strategy. She never uses her debit card.
Always use a credit card, just so that I'm getting cash back on the money that I'm spending. At the end of the year, it adds up.
And it all starts with budgeting.
With food, groceries, gas, electric, all that good stuff. I've been working on my credit since I was in college, so my score is like a 780.
Now, 780 is considered in the very good category for credit scores. Here's the range: poor, fair, good, very good, and excellent. Your credit score can impact a lot, whether or not you get a loan or the interest rate you'll end up paying. It represents your credit risk, and not everyone understands the value.
A high credit score was once only a dream for Roshika Mullins.
I always made a pretty decent amount of money, but I could not see where my money went, was my problem.
She didn't have a budget or track where she was spending. That's when she visited Clarify, a credit counseling agency that helps people figure out their finances.
They're overwhelmed with having to decide, what do I pay? What's a priority? A lot of them are stressed out. A lot of them are concerned about the next week, the next month. How are you doing?
Luigi Sedano is a credit, debt, and housing counselor at Clarify.
I think a lot of people are having a difficult time just stretching that dollar. At the end of the month, the week, there's very little to none left, and they're trying to figure out, how do I budget that leftover?
Clarify helped Roshika see where she was spending her money.
So what my job is to really just focus on creating a budget with them, having a better understanding as what's coming in versus what's going out, and deciding what's necessary versus what are wants.
She learned she was spending more than she needed to on her kids, giving in to a lot of, "Mom, can I have?"
Once I started cracking down, and I was like, it broke my heart, like, to start telling them no. And once I did that, I actually got to see my money. I see where it's going. I see it at the bank, so that was my big turnaround.
She also learned paying down debt can be negotiated. She says her first call to the creditor got her debt down from $7K to $5K.
And I was about to go for it. I did. And I hung up the phone, and I called back the next day. I said, hey, this is all I have. I have $3,000. That's all I have. This is how I could pay you, and I could do it within 30 days. And they were like, cash? Yeah.
Meaning she paid off that $7,000 debt with $3,000. And 6 months after she cleared her debt, Roshika achieved her goal of homeownership.
It was joyous in the end to obtain the home.
We wish her continued success with her home and her budgeting. Now, when our budgets are busted, we turn to credit cards. Big time. Credit card debt right now is more than $1 trillion. When we don't have money in the bank and we need to spend, we pull out the plastic.
I don't think anybody wants to be in credit card debt. I think that sometimes the best laid plans go awry.
Ted Rossman is a senior industry analyst for Bankrate.com.
Americans' credit card balances have skyrocketed 40% since the first quarter of 2021. So that's really remarkable. This is the steepest climb on record.
Average credit card debt, $5,947. Credit card interest rates are at a record high, with the average 22.77%, and 43% of credit card holders carry a balance, so the interest rate can be a killer. Now, if you want to tackle your credit card debt, Rossman says here's his top tip. Move your debt to a zero interest rate card.
You move your existing high-cost debt over to that card. You really use that runway to make progress. That's a great thing if you have debt. That can really lower the bite of those high interest rates.
Rossman says you usually need a credit score of about 670 or better to be approved for 0% transfers. Here's how they work. Remember, your current monthly payment is principal and interest. The transfer would pay off the existing credit card and then give you a certain period of time, maybe 6, 18, even 21 months, to pay down your debt with no interest, just the principal.
From the consumer standpoint, I would say, if at all possible, use this runway to pay the full amount. Maybe don't add new purchases, just divide what you owe by the number of months in your 0% term and really try to stick to that level payment plan.
Sticking to any payment plan or a budget takes discipline, but it can be simple, whether you make a lot or a little.
Just finished up for the night. I just did 9 orders.
Laura Castellanos picks up Uber Eats hours when she can while she's searching for more steady work.
I definitely am feeling the struggle.
She shares her personal finance struggles on social media. Her 157,000 followers on TikTok watch Laura's instructions on how she stays disciplined in her budgeting.
So cash budgeting is pretty much it's not really a new way of saving. It's actually something that's been done years and years ago. I know a lot of people say their grandparents used to do it.
Laura promotes a method of cash budgeting that is popular on social media right now, cash stuffing.
Today is bank run day, so come along with me through my process.
Basically, you go to the bank to convert your paycheck into cash that's easy to divvy up, to divide into your envelopes.
And when you hand over your teller slip, they already know what to do.
They'll give you the cash in the denominations you ask for. You make envelopes for everything you need to pay, and every time you get paid, you stuff the envelopes so you see where your money is going every month.
It's really, really simple. It just takes some getting used to, and it takes discipline.
Laura has now converted her cash stuffing routine into a small business where she sells envelopes and budget binders.
Sometimes people really like cash as a debt avoidance tactic. So that's actually one thing that could keep you on kind of a strict cash diet.
Speaking of budgeting, millions of people had to add a new bill to their budget in October. Student loan debt. The average borrower owes more than $37,000.
So I graduated from Westchester University in 2021, entered the job force, which has been difficult.
When Alex Cohen graduated, she didn't have to face her student loans right away.
Student loan repayment has been on pause for over 3 years, so it's going back to the beginning of the pandemic.
Meantime, a plan emerged that would cancel debt of eligible borrowers.
We will forgive $10,000 in outstanding federal student loans.
We had this hope that about $10,000 to $20,000 of our student debt would be canceled, which would have been a huge benefit to myself and many people that I know who are in the same position.
But that was not to be. That plan was blocked by the Supreme Court, meaning after a 3-year-plus pause, Alex and 43.5 million other borrowers had to get back to paying their loans in October.
I have a lot of friends who are overwhelmed. I honestly know people who just are not paying them back at the moment. It's either they pay back their student loans or they pay their rent, so it's a really hard decision.
Students facing hard money decisions at the Community College of Philadelphia step up to these windows where counselors can guide them.
And we have to counsel them and tell them that there are repayment options.
Sharna Patterson is the director of financial aid at CCP.
I'd say pay attention to the mail. You're receiving information through email and mail from your loan servicer about your loan payment and when it's due. You don't want to ignore it because You want to open that envelope.
Patterson talks with students about aid available and what to do if you're struggling with payments.
You aren't ready to resume payment because some of our students are dealing with meal insecurity and really how to budget their paycheck that doesn't stretch these days.
Your first step is to contact the company that services your loan and ask about your options.
Forbearance is a pause to your loan payment, and there are different forbearance options. The income contingent or income-based repayment plan is going to specifically ask you, how much are you earning?
Alex, our graduate from Westchester, was able to take advantage of that option with her loan. Her $200 a month payment is based on her income. She's also in the Public Service Forgiveness Program.
If you make 120 consecutive payments, which equals out to 10 years, you'll have your loans forgiven once those 10 years are reached.
Which will be great in 10 years, but right now, like many, she's still stretched.
I've just been trying to not turn my heat on for as long as I possibly can. I've also been picking up a few side jobs, like for example, I'll do dog walking, I'll babysit whenever I can on the weekends.
While Alex is focused on paying her student loan debt, many in our area are focused on paying their mortgage. Philadelphia ranks in the top 10 metro areas for mortgage delinquencies. It can be a heartbreaking struggle for many, but there is help. NBC10 Responds Managing Your Money continues.
I need to be able to pay my bills. I don't need you to come and try to take my home.
We are seeing an uptick in foreclosure filings lately.
I can say to date, since 2010, over 16,000 homes have been saved.
This help is here through this program.
Welcome back to NBC10 Responds Managing Your Money. For most people, their most valuable possession is their home. Their highest bill, their mortgage. You tell yourself, I have to pay that one. But then the unexpected happens and you fall behind, miss a payment, maybe two. Maybe you're at risk of losing your home. The woman you're about to meet was in that spot and fought to get out of it.
I'm going to make this with some yellow rice, and if not broccoli, some Brussels sprouts.
Kika Adams loves to cook, and she loves her home.
This is a beautiful house.
She bought it 10 years ago and remembers the first few years vividly.
This is a vintage home. This is like a small mansion.
She raised 5 kids in her mansion, but things got tough in the last few years.
During the pandemic, I experienced the loss of my brother from brain aneurysm. I lost a nephew that was like a son to me.
That's when she became overwhelmed.
And I mentally just went into like a depression because we were trying not only to like make arrangements and say farewells to our loved ones.
Bills went unpaid.
I started falling behind because food started being inflated.
Utility bills and the mortgage.
I just got lost somewhere.
Then she says she found hope.
I met a Mr. Fernando.
Could you reply with that mortgage account number?
Mr. Fernando is Fernando Leal. He works at Affordable Housing Centers of Pennsylvania with offices across the city and the state.
He's not only just an expert in how he helped to kind of comfort me and ease me through the threat of an Act 91, which is, them actually wanting to come back and take your property.
So we help homeowners that are not only behind on their mortgage and are in the process of legal foreclosure, but also homeowners that are at risk of becoming delinquent on their mortgage.
Fernando's job is to help people such as Kika figure out next financial steps and what's possible to keep them in their homes.
When a homeowner comes in, we also look at a comprehensive approach to their financial situation. So we look at whether they have homestead exemption for their real estate taxes, which could save them $1,100 a year. Well, we look and see if they qualify for utility assistance, and then if they're, within the income range to obtain food stamps.
His best advice if you're struggling, pick up the phone and contact your lender.
The City of Philadelphia has a wonderful program called the Foreclosure Diversion Program. And so anyone that a foreclosure filing is started is put through this diversion program, which gives the homeowner and us counselors time to work out solutions with the lender.
You may be able to modify your loan, meaning you could change the terms of the loan. You may also be able to get a special forbearance plan, which means you could have a temporary reduction or pause on your payments. After that time, your payments would increase to pay off the delinquency or refinance so that your monthly payments are more manageable. In Kika's case, Fernando was able to help her find additional assistance with her utility bills so she could get current with her mortgage payments. Now she wants others to know there is help available.
Listen, it's not begging, it's trying to stand.
The key is to ask for help from your lender or a HUD-approved counselor. Now, if you're doing okay with your mortgage payments, but issues have popped up around the house and you have no idea how you'll pay for repairs, there's help for that too.
I am a mother and a wife.
Meet Ashika Smith. Years back, she and her husband were able to buy their home from their landlord. But maintenance wasn't easy.
My furnace went in 2011. I had a gas leak. And they actually had to turn the gas off until we got it fixed. And I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, what I'm gonna do? I was really scared of what I was gonna do and how I was gonna get the money to get a heater and everything. It was no way. And how will I keep my daughter warm and keep my family warm and everything. So I reached out to the heater hotline.
The heater hotline is a program that can help residents with free repairs or, if needed, a new heater. The hotline is run by the Philadelphia Housing Development Corporation, which offers other help as well.
We get about 300 calls a week with people looking for services, whether it be heating, electric, plumbing, roofing, and now even structural.
Dave Thomas is PHDC's CEO.
Before the pandemic, the need was great. I'll say after the pandemic, the need has been, I'll say it has increased exponentially.
The Basic Systems Repair Program can help with dangerous electrical conditions, leaking or broken water lines, sewer lines, roof leaks.
I mean, we all live in homes and none of us really think about the maintenance, the routine maintenance necessary to maintain a home. It only comes up when the problem arises.
Being a homeowner and being low income, it is a struggle financially to maintain the upkeep of a home.
Ashika needed more than just a heater. She applied and was approved.
A new roof, a new sewer line, ceiling joists for our ceiling up top, a new wall, drywall in the kitchen.
Plus, new siding on the back of her house and other items, but she had another challenge.
It was overwhelming to try to figure out how I was going to maintain my home and make it safe and handicap accessible for my daughter.
Melanie is 22 and has cerebral palsy. Ashika is her paid caregiver. As Melanie got older, Ashika discovered she needed more help getting Melanie up the stairs and help bathing her.
When the contractor came, the inspector came, they said, you're going to get a handicap accessible bathroom. And that was really a blessing.
Ashika applied for help through the Adaptive Modifications Program, also run through PHDC. It's designed to help people with disabilities stay in their homes.
I never thought or dreamed that I would get a handicap accessible bathroom.
The most affordable house is the house that you live in, and we want to see that people can stay in those homes.
Still, Ashika tells me that two barriers keep people from reaching out for help: pride and privacy. She has this message.
Be willing to give up your information so you can get the help that's needed to make your home safe, to be able to stay in your home.
Other cities and counties across our area have similar programs. We'll put all the information on our website at NBC10.com/responds. Now, if you don't meet the income guidelines, Philadelphia has another program that can help with repairs. Thanks for having us.
Remember our budget-conscious shopper, Jasiana?
So when I first bought this home, it was not in this good condition.
She bought a house from her grandmother 2 years ago.
My grandmother previously had tenants in here, and the tenants had 5 cats and a dog. So I'll let you just imagine how that was. Yeah, horrible.
So it needed a lot of work. She looked around for grants, but instead found a city program in Philadelphia.
So I just called the number. And they called me back a week later, and I was like, okay, this is real.
She applied for the city program called Restore, Repair, Renew, where homeowners can get a loan of between $2,500 and $50,000 at 3%.
They speak to you about budgeting, about how much money all your bills are. They ask you about everything.
She was approved for a $50,000 loan, and within a month started with her upgrades.
New sheetrock, new walls, the floors were taken up, new floors put down, same railings.
Josiana was able to knock down a wall and get granite countertops.
We came in, we knocked everything down, we moved the stove over here, we added a new washer and dryer there.
It's her bathroom she's most proud of because she did some of the work herself.
And then I did this wall on my own because I wanted something luxury. I wanted it to scream, we're in California.
Now Josiana is paying it forward. She has her real estate license.
So now I'm helping families and first-time home buyers, get their own home and get the experience that I got through Restore, Repair, Renew.
Coming up, finding money you might not have known you had, and finding money you could be wasting. When NBC10 Responds, Managing Your Money continues. Welcome back to NBC10 Responds, Managing Your Money. I don't know about you, but when I find a couple extra bucks in a coat pocket or folded up in my purse, feels pretty good. Found money. You can look for and find money in a number of places.
One of the easiest ways to find money you didn't know you had is to do a search for unclaimed funds. Estimates are that 1 in 7 Americans have funds they don't know about, and it's being held by a state. A website created by state officials to help people find lost funds lets you easily do a search. It could be money left in a bank account, refunds you were due, a utility security deposit that went unclaimed, an unredeemed money order or gift certificate, uncashed dividend checks, lots of possibilities, just waiting to be claimed. You pretty much say, hey, that's mine, submit proof, and the funds are sent to you. An added warning, you might get a letter or an email from a company saying they can get you your money for a fee. Why would you pay a fee when you can get it all for free? Here's a fee that you may be paying, but you don't have to. Your PMI, or private mortgage insurance, on your mortgage. PMI is usually required by the lender if your down payment is less than 20%. So if your loan balance is now below 80% of your home's original value, you can ask your lender to cancel your PMI. Let's look at your recurring bills you might be able to reduce with just a little homework and then a call. Your internet service, cable or cell phone bills. For instance, many wireless providers offer you a discount if you set up auto pay. Do a little homework. Are you on the best plan for your usage? Are there cheaper plans out there? Then make the call, see if you can get your bill reduced. Check your cable bill, see if you can drop down to a cheaper package. Ask for a discount or switch providers. If you need a little help with what you would say when you call your providers, start with, I'm thinking of canceling because I can't keep up with my payments. What can you do to help me out? You might be surprised. How about subscriptions? Most people have subscriptions on auto pay. Most people underestimate how much they're paying monthly for subscriptions. According to a recent survey, the average consumer spends $130 a month more than they estimated. That's $1,600 a year. Those subscriptions could be slowly draining your bank account. So ask yourself, what subscriptions do you have that you don't need or use? How about those digital subscriptions that you long ago forgot you signed up for? Maybe an app, a streaming service. If you have an Android phone, go to the subscriptions in Google Play and select the ones you want to cancel. On an iPhone, open Settings, tap your name, and tap the subscriptions.
Now, if you're saying, I can't find money I don't have, if you're unemployed or underemployed, we have help for you too. Meet Freddie Jones. She suddenly found herself unemployed and needed help with the next steps.
I had someone actually let me know, hey, I have a program that you could go to directly, and they would help you file for benefits and make sure that they actually go through for you and make sure that you get the support you need.
Campaign for Working Families is a local nonprofit that helps with everything from free tax prep to unemployment applications.
So the representative that I had, Steffi, she was amazing. She actually sat there. I brought all the information that I needed from my end. So as far as how long I was working there, pay stubs, things like that. I brought all that to her. I sat there. She told me the questions. I gave her answers.
Counselors can also help with other benefits, including housing vouchers, health care, and in Freddie's case, food stamps. And they can help build resumes.
I got the job. it was a success, and I'm happy where I am now. I'm extremely happy.
A job in her field at Laser Away in Rittenhouse Square.
If you're someone who needs help with any type of benefits, take a step in, let them know what they need, let them know what you need, and they'll be here to help you. They're here for your success. I'm a walking testament of it.
Freddie makes a good point that all of the organizations I talked with echo. If you need help, pick up the phone, reach out, whether it's applications for services or getting your debt under control, a housing issue. There is help. We're putting all the help in one place for you on our website. And we're going a step further. If you have any kind of personal finance question about managing your money in 2024, NBC10 Responds wants to hear from you. Ask away and we'll get you answers. Use this QR code that will take you to our consumer complaint form. Ask your question or call that number. Ask your question and we'll get to work for you. I'm Tracy Davidson. Whatever challenges you face in 2024, NBC10 Responds is here for you. Thanks for watching.